Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our program. This is Mike Saunders with Marketing Huddle, and today we have with us Dan Raabe, who is the creator of Dan Raabe Express Training Systems. Dan, welcome to the program.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, welcome today, and give us a little bit of a background on yourself, and then lead into what brought you to this entrepreneurial venture with your Express Training System.
Okay, great. That's a great question. I am a coach. I'm not a personal trainer. I learned how to do this as a function of becoming independent. When I moved back to Denver about a decade ago from Japan, and I needed something to do. While I was working on my MBA at DU, I decided I don't really need a desk job. What I need to do is I need to help people. So first I learned to help myself. And once I learned that, then I developed a program, which has taken about 10 years now, to help other people get fit. And by fit, I don't mean fitness. I mean strong and in condition. Strength and conditioning.
And to me, that just, it sounds like I love the concept of working on yourself first, because that is what so many programs talk about, where you need to, invest in yourself, personal development. So I love that. And then the path you took is not just some flash in the pan idea, and this ought to work, let's train other people on it. It's a 10-year journey of testing and trying. But what makes your program different and special?
Well, first of all, it's the focus. I tell people don't find a reason to train. Train for a reason. When I started training, I had a reason. I was a dad. My father had a heart attack at 59 years old, and it put him out of the game. And I decided that was not the path I was going to take. It's in my genetics. It wasn't apparent that I was going to have a heart attack, but it's definitely in my genetics. Mm-hmm. And in order to be young for my kids, in order to have the mental capacity to work and stay creative, I started training. And it wasn't an easy path to learn how to do it. But when I put the question in front of me, how do you get strong? Then that's when it started to acquire a process, a level of study and investigation into how that actually happens. And what turns out is that there is actually science behind this, and the science is vast and complicated and really interesting.
Well, it's always wonderful to have a structured, set program with science behind it, a system, because I think people feel comfortable when there's a system, because success leaves clues, and they figure, well, if there's been proven success, then I'm going to give it a try. And I think then that faith kind of jumps in, and you kind of step out in faith and go, I'm going to work on this system and see if it actually does work. And then your mindset is geared to watching for results to happen. So I think that is really excellent. And you work with adults mostly, or athletes, or what is your demographic that you are focused on?
I changed my path about 4 years ago. It came to pass that I couldn't train everybody. We had a gym over in Tamarack where we had many things to do. We had Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we had strength and conditioning, we had Muay Thai kickboxing, we had Israeli martial arts, and it was fun. We could train everybody. What came to pass after a while was that training everybody is possible if you have a huge crew of people, which I didn't really want to have. What I wanted to do was I wanted to help a specific group. So I decided, after interviewing quite a few business people, men and women, that one thing had to be taken into consideration, and that is that my premise is train for a reason, and I focus on one group, I discovered that adults will probably most likely train if they can train in an atmosphere that's efficient, that's safe, and it's fun, and they can make friends. Mm-hmm. So then the training becomes relevant. Now, the key point there was the time. What I saw was personal trainers. I'm not a personal trainer, but what I saw was personal trainers training people in an hour, or people going to the gym and spending 2 hours wandering around.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I'm busy. I'm a businessman, and I don't have that much time. What I have is I have the time it takes to get to the gym, 5 minutes to get my pants on, 5 minutes to warm up, 20 minutes to train, 5 minutes to cool off, and the rest of the time to go take a shower and get out the door and get on to the next event. Mm-hmm. So what I discovered from talking to people was that they would train if they were training with someone who understood their needs and could get them in and out of the gym quickly. So I came up with a 20-minute trainer series of programs. Now the format is 20 minutes, we warm up, train for 20 minutes, and we stretch. The rest of the time is on you, however long it takes to get where you are. Then the second thing that happened was that I realized that people will train. Some people don't want to come to the gym. So I created a series of exercises that people can do in their house with basically 2 pieces of equipment. Still 20 minutes. We communicate back and forth, so it isn't a CD. They're actually talking to me. We're actually friends online, and they can do this anywhere. They can do it in the office. They can do it when they travel, because I have people who travel. Mm-hmm. So the time format, being respectful for people's time, providing exercises that equate to a very high level of athletic ability, or good solid level of athletic ability, and the fact that they're portable and simple makes it relevant, and that is what's working.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think we've been trained as a society to want things bigger, better, faster, and easier. And I mean, you just think about, everyone looking down on their cell phone and instant message and texting and, fast food and microwave and all these things. And I think that then you go into, the 2-hour workout in the gym, or the 1 hour even. And I think now you even see some of the programs that are sold on TV, the fitness at home training is 20 and 30 minutes, because people won't take that extra time. Now, I would say that if they took that 20 minutes and then got into that routine, and here's a question for you: how many days a week are you recommending that people train for?
People can train they can train almost every day. The guidance that I give to my current clients is that if you focus on the quality of the exercise, the quality of the movement, and you really invest in that 20 minutes, not casual, you turn everything out, you just turn some music on, and you get with it. Even the exercises that are done remotely, separate from the more complicated exercises that we do at the gym, even the exercises that are done remotely produce an incredible result if you do them correctly. So to that end, we have demonstrations online. Doing it 3 times a week, I would say, would be a workable formula for getting to a result that you can measure. Mm-hmm. So I like fitness testing based on a military standard, and done every 3 months or 6 months, however long we can get together. People can actually do it in a park, or they can go to their own gym if they're not with me, and turn on their cell phone. We can FaceTime, and I can take the measurements and send it to them and record it so they know where they're at. The key to my business is accessibility. I'm always available to my clients for demonstration, for discussion, for kind of off-floor coaching, because that's what it takes for people to kind of understand that there's somebody actually out there who cares about them. And because of the kind of person I am and the kind of the way I'd like this business to unfold and to develop, I need that personal touch. So I take great pride in being accessible to my people. So to answer your question, 3 times a week is good. Sometimes people want to do more. So I say, okay, here's the strength exercises. Take that 3 times a week. Then on your off days, do what you want to do. Ride your bike, go for a run, do the things that you're used to doing. Play tennis, play golf, whatever. As long as you get that 3 days a week in, you should be in pretty good shape. And you'll progress. You'll feel it.
Well, what I like about what you've said, too, is it's a structure, it's a routine, it's a system. You're there to support. All these things have such strong business applications because in business, you need to have all of that structure and support. And,
yes,
and the thing that I like, too, is what you say about having something to measure and having something to measure against. So you have, it's kind of like it reminds me of finding your why, having a reason why you're doing this exercise routine. Is it just to check off a box that I exercised today, or is it for that reason? And having that why and being able to have those measurements because, hey, I've been working out for X number of months or years. What have you done? Do you have, it's like in business, I've got 10 years of experience. Well, is it actually 10 years of experience, or is it 1 year of experience 10 years over and you're never getting better? So I like those measurements and those metrics that you're talking about. What are some of your clients seeing as far as, not specific numbers, but, are they seeing things like, sure, reduction in weight and inches, but increases in other areas, maybe mental clarity and focus and business and relationships?
That's a great question. The experiences are going to be individual, of course.
Mm-hmm.
What I like is, this is how I see it. I'm not standing at the door with a tape measure and a scale and a stopwatch necessarily. I see people who come to the gym with typical apprehension, typical that they're taking a risk.
Mm-hmm.
And within a very short period of time, people who come to the door with a frown on their face, being suspicious, kind of looking like they don't understand really where they're going, in a very short period of time, they will bound through the door with a smile on their face, ready to work, happy to join the party. That's the first thing. So now I know that they're proud of what they did, because it's not me who did it. It's the clients. They're the ones doing the heavy lifting. They're doing the work. But they find within themselves this, they're happy that they're proud of what they did. They accomplished something. It's not only measurable by numbers, but it's measurable by experience, by feeling, by emotion, and they just look better. The second thing is that I want to make it very clear is that coaching is not simply about administering exercises. We have a process that we go through right from the very beginning that I call the 5 whys. Now, you know who invented the 5 whys was Shinichi Toyota, right, at Toyota, to fix problems, any problem that came up. And getting down to why do you train is the basic question. So you can play this game back and forth, and it becomes very fun as long as you keep your answers short and concise so you're not just waxing on. Mm-hmm. We say, why do you train? So you could play it with me. I could ask you, why do you train, Mike? And you would say,
well, it depends. You would say, I need to lose weight, gain weight. I need to improve my cardiovascular health. I need to improve my, outlook on life because I know when I train, I feel better, things like that.
Right, exactly. So if we just start with the first sentence, I need to lose weight. Okay, why do you want to lose weight?
I guess they would say, need to look better in my clothes. I know that it's a healthier decision.
Yeah, I mean, keep it focused on yourself. And why do you want to look better in your clothes?
I don't know. I mean, so that you would feel better about yourself and have better self-esteem.
Okay, so by going through this process of asking why, answering why questions, it seems fruitless because you could go on forever. But underneath all of it is going to be a very similar, when you get down to the real bottom line, it's going to be a very similar connection from person to person. Mm-hmm. And most frequently, people will just give up after I go through this process, and they'll just say, oh, Dan, I just want to feel better. Well, that's a huge revelation. Mm-hmm. We've pretty much gotten down to a bottom line. Okay, so how do you do this? Now the conversation is open. Now I know something about them. They've divulged something pretty sensitive to themselves, and they've trusted me. So, the adage of know, like, and trust. Okay, we got to the trust issue because they've told me something about themselves, and we've gotten to a bottom line. Now the next idea that can be entertained is, how do we do this? Well, personally, I like today's training. Today's training signals a step away from legacy, anything legacy. So it walks away from the myths. There's a lot of scientists that I listen to and I study and I call and I talk to whenever I can. And the basics of the training is that simple training works the best. Simple training done very, very, very well. So everything that you participate in, every way that you train, has to do with the movement. So we take the movement apart and we make it very simple, but we do it really, really well. And the better you do it, the more you get out of it. So the payoff is huge. And then the other thing is that training is a process. So we understand that you have to acquire the skill. So repetitive training, you get the skill. You repeat, you build your skills. Then you're consistent. Consistency is the key for anything. So it works really, really well in training, just like it works really well in business. So when people are training consistently, I can see that it helps their business life because they start thinking about consistency. And if the day has consistency to it, if activities during the day are consistent, then they can do them faster, better, with more knowledge and more creativity. And it comes to the last part, which is intensity. If you're consistent, if you have a skill, and you're consistently practicing it, you can increase the intensity with which you use that skill. And this has a direct parallel to business. So people come in and they start working, and I can see that they're doing the skill very well. Now, it may be simple, but you would be surprised at what people are willing to do when it comes to movement. They're only comfortable within a certain range and a range of movement. So I coach people to move better over a fuller range of movement, because strength training requires strength. The goal of strength training is strength over a full range of movement. That translates to them in their brain as better use of the skill, better use of their skills to produce a result. And so that's what I see. As is measurable, it's measurable in terms of how people act and respond. It's outwardly measurable. It's measurable numerically if I give them a fitness test, because I will see right then and there how much willpower they have. Did they actually get stronger? Did they actually do more of the exercises in the fitness test in a shorter period of time or in the given period of time? These are huge metrics that would tell anybody, I'm doing better. Look at me, I'm doing better. And that's what I want. I don't want them to look at the coach and say, my coach kicked my ass or my coach made me do better. I want them to look at themselves and say, I worked out with Dan and I do better. And that's
because you are competing against yourself in that realm, because you can do one more or just a little bit more or just incremental changes. Those 1% changes add up over time.
So, and that's how it works. So I offer, the programs at the gym. Some people come to the gym, which I like, because I like a party. And there's kind of an unwritten rule that it's like a mastermind group at the gym. If I get a bunch of business guys together, somebody's a writer, someone's a salesman, someone's a scientist. The conversation's spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
They'll talk about anything,
really
from jokes to business to whatever comes up,
Yeah.
And then online,
it becomes a camaraderie as well as accountability.
Yeah, and then online, it gives me excuse to people text me. Where's my exercise? And very soon we'll be sending them to the website. But I like it that they text me, or we use Fitbit, something for me to kind of invade their day and change the stage picture. Because if I text, no matter what they're doing, it's a light moment. They can change their focus for one brief minute and think about themselves. And in my book, I talk about selfishness. That's the very first chapter. And I don't think people are selfish enough. And I think when I connect with them, whether it's a phone call or text, and I send them exercises and we talk online, they get a minute to be selfish. They get a minute to steal back their life from their pre-planned day and really think about, really enjoy for that few minutes. Or really be thinking about, well, what am I going to see now? I know what I have to do today. That's a part of my task, and I'm going to schedule it in. I'm working out at 5.
I love it. So what's the best way for people to learn more about your system and your programs if they want to engage with you?
Well, I have an offer for you. My book is coming out soon, and I will be glad to send anybody a pre-release copy of the book. I'll send it to the first 10 people who send me an email. You've got coach@danraabetraining.com. That's all they need to do. And it's DANRAABE training.com. And I'll send you a pre-release copy of the book. And if to anyone who receives it, if they'd be so kind as to send me their feedback, that'd be great. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me. The 20-Minute Trainer site is 20-minute-trainer.com. That's the landing page. And we'll have more information up there pretty soon. And that's how you find out about the 20-Minute Trainer programs. And from there, you'll be able to download a little pamphlet that I wrote called The 7 Meanest Exercises You Never Want to Do at the Gym. And then, and then for speaking and just general information about programming, it's danraabetraining.com.
Perfect. Well, Dan, thank you so much for your time today. It was wonderful getting to know you and your unique training system.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for allowing me to be on the program.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.